Most of a whale's life unfolds beyond our view. From the deck of a boat, we're limited to brief moments at the surface, a breath, a dorsal fin, a fluke. But drones offer a new perspective, helping researchers fill in the gaps between those moments, revealing a more complete picture of an animal's life. But technology often moves faster than the conversations about how we should use them. And that tension became the foundation of my capstone project. But before I tell you about it, I'd like to show you part of it.
Home point updated. Take off. Home point updated.
The aerial perspective helps you to understand so many things. One of the aspects of it is that it helps you to understand group composition and complement perfectly the data that you collect by photo identification. It gives you more in-depth context on the behavior that you are observing. It's a breakthrough in behavior for us because it gives you a perspective that you didn't have before. But at the end of the day, it's not about the species we study, it's about the habitat that we have and that we share with them.
I think just drone technology in general for science, for cinematography, for a variety of different disciplines has completely changed how we do things. And it's given us such this like intimate view into these animals' lives that we would have never had previously. Before, you rent a helicopter and you're limited by what heights you can be at. They're incredibly loud and invasive, incredibly expensive. You can't deploy them at a moment's notice. It's completely changed how we view these animals' lives.
We use the drones to both get individual data and also cover spatial areas and count animals and look at distribution. The aerial perspective gives you a more rich source of information and also a reliable indication of body condition. So the body condition information that we're collecting, along with our abundance surveys, tie directly into management and then also into conservation status decisions.
A drone can do photo ID, behavior, photogrammetry, now exhale, breath, condensate, tagging, and maybe in the future, other things such as disentanglement. We just put Petri dishes on a drone. And from the exhalation, we can say, is it brother, sister, uncle, aunt? Are we reaching a population bottleneck? As the population seems genetically diverse, how does it relate to other populations? And then the hormones, is it pregnant? Is it lactation? Is it stress so it can't get pregnant, et cetera, et cetera? And then the microbiomes. Are the microbiomes doing what they're meant to be doing, to support the whale health, or are they running rampant because the whale is unhealthy?
I think you need to look at the big picture and see, what's the environment like? Does the animal have a calf or offspring with it? Because those are going to affect how it is going to respond in any specific interaction.
We don't have control on their habitat or on their ecology, but what we can control is the way we impact that.
Biology sometimes is like a jigsaw puzzle. How many pieces do you need before you can see the picture? Often you just need to give a scientist or a group of scientists just one or two clues. Science in many ways is a detective story. Give them a couple of clues so they can run down the path, and that way we can find a way for humans and whales and other animals to live more in sort of balance.
This was me a year ago. Before coming to Scripps, I was working in Hollywood as a focus puller and drone pilot. I'd spent many years building credits from La La Land to Shrinking. I was living the dream. But the ocean was calling me. I began volunteering with elephant seal rehabilitation, beach cleanups, and then had a life-changing encounter with humpback whale and Morea. My interest in ocean science and conservation grew, so I followed it and came to Scripps. I didn't expect that the experience I developed as a filmmaker would be so valuable in scientific settings. I had learned to interpret behavior, anticipate movement, and operate equipment with precision under pressure, essential skills when flying a drone over a whale. And I love the Snotbot. Developed by Ocean Alliance, the Snotbot is a drone fitted with petri dishes that flies through a whale's exhaled breath, collecting samples that reveal rich biological information. It can also deploy suction cup tags that record audio, video, and location data for up to 48 hours, providing insights into behaviors that were once impossible to observe. Ocean Alliance showed me that drones are a powerful scientific tool that are transforming marine research. But beautiful footage, biological sampling, and camera tags are only a couple pieces of this puzzle. Drones are also being used to estimate and monitor population size, assess body condition, document behavior, and more, all of which help researchers understand not only the animals, but the ever-changing ocean around them. And that's when this project came into focus. In addition to learning the capabilities of drones as scientific tools, I wanted to understand what responsible, effective drone-based research actually requires and bring that information together in a single resource. So I educated myself on the legal frameworks that govern these studies, namely the Marine Mammal Protection Act, the Endangered Species Act, FAA drone laws, and NOAA permits. These regulations exist for a reason. The best science comes from observing animals as naturally and undisturbed as possible. It's the foundation of meaningful conservation. And thanks to a Scripps graduate, Kiku Loomis, I was introduced to Lennon Oviedo, a behavioral ecologist in La Paz who uses drones to study cetaceans. He invited me to participate in his research. Our fieldwork took us across 4 sites in Baja California Sur, from protected lagoons to coastal habitats. We conducted surveys of gray whales, humpback whales, and bottlenose dolphins, launching from beaches, cliffs, and small boats, depending on the species and environment. Each site presented different challenges and considerations, pushing me to think beyond the drone itself and focus on survey design, data quality, and interpreting animal behavior. And while the film serves as an introduction to aerial surveys, the protocols, regulations, maps, scientific context, and expert insights needed a format where they could be referenced and explored. So I built a 2-part ArcGIS story map, one web page for the story and the footage, and the other for the science and methodology. The first page is a visual guide designed for any audience. It opens with beauty shots, introduces the experts, and showcases the film and uses atmospheric clips and interactive maps to bring the fieldwork to life. I conducted spatial analysis of drone telemetry to create georeference maps that transform individual flights into a spatial record of each encounter. By linking behavior to location and time, the maps provide ecological context that complements the aerial footage. The second page serves as a scientific resource hub, delving into detail on the methodology, regulations, telemetry workflows, and findings. Both sites discuss the next frontier of drone innovations. Together, these story maps allow users to engage with the material at different depths, whether they're interested in the story, the science, or both. They are designed to make this process accessible and replicable. The expertise and perspectives shared by the 4 leaders in cetacean drone research helped shape this scientific content, the methodology, and overall direction of this project. Many thanks to Dr. Lennon Oviedo, behavioral ecologist and my committee chair, Dr. Trevor Joyce, marine mammal biologist at NOAA, Ian Kerr, CEO of Ocean Alliance and creator of the Snotbot, Jeff Hester, wildlife cinematographer. My hope is that this project will serve as a resource for researchers, students, and drone pilots, while contributing to the ongoing conversation about the ethical use of new tools in scientific research. Technology evolves rapidly, creating new opportunities. But with every new opportunity comes a responsibility to think carefully about how we use it, because that's how we protect what we're trying to study. Please explore and share the website and my film, and reach out if you like. And thank you to everyone who contributed to this project, especially my capstone committee, Lennon, Heidi, and Kiku. I welcome your questions.
I've got a quick question to kick things off. Thank you so much for sharing that. That film is so beautiful. The footage is really so stunning. My question's a little bit on brand and nerdy, but you referenced the Marine Mammal Protection Act and NOAA permits, but your field work was mostly outside of the United States in Mexican waters. So how did USA regulations factor into the surveys that you conducted outside of US jurisdiction?
I'm so glad that you asked that.
Oh.
There is no equivalent to the MMPA, though they mirror it closely. They follow it. And there's something similar to the ESA. In English is the General Law of Ecological Equilibrium and Environmental Protection, which is a little bit broader. It protects the ecosystems and the species within them. And Mexico also has their own drone permits, so it's not FAA. It's very similar, though.
Hi. Great presentation.
Thanks, Kiku.
As a member of your capstone committee, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to ask a question, but what I would love to know, and this is not a plant, is you transferred your skills from filmmaking in Hollywood to science. What were some of one of the most surprising things that you learned in the course of doing this project about transferring those skills to using them for science?
I think the most surprising thing was that I actually was kind of expecting to leave the filmmaking part behind, and now I'm realizing that it's essential to the communicating of the science, that the film gets people through the door, and then I get to share the website, the policy, the science, and it's the filmmaking, the storytelling that's really like the engaging part. And once you have people through the door, I think it's really easy to get them excited about something like the Snotbot. So thank you for asking that. Michael? Uh-oh.
Great presentation, Jenna. The question I have for you is, what's next? What are you going to go ahead and do another film and create another website with a different species and habitat? So what's next?
That's a fantastic question. I'm really interested in other autonomous vehicles and ROVs. There's lots of gliders, and Argo floats are a good example. They're just kind of floating around the ocean taking measurements, and And I hope to keep working with the technology side of things to, help conservation and hopefully save our oceans. So thank you for asking.